Are you in a declutter mode? Usually January is the month where we want a fresh start. That is the month when we tend to crave organization in our lives. And the most effective way to do that is through decluttering. However, decluttering can seem very overwhelming at times. I remember that I used to think of decluttering with this idea in my head where I would spend the whole day just doing nothing but sorting through things and organizing them. And while the end result was very appealing to me, the process itself, not so much. But I have learned that it doesn't have to be that way. So let's talk about how to get started with decluttering 5 things. So those are gonna be things that we either use every single day or things that are causing us not just the physical clutter, but also clutter in our mental space. And before we get started, if you are new here, hi, my name is Marta and welcome to Imperfect Life Balance. On my channel, we talk about anything and everything that is going to help you create your own version of life balance. And decluttering is definitely one of those things, because the less time we spend looking for things and getting aggravated by it, the more time we can spend on things that we actually enjoy doing. So let's get started with the first thing that we have to all declutter. And that is, ladies, your purse. That is something we use every single day, and if you have kids, you know how cluttered it tends to get. I don't know about you, but I find the most random things in my bag. So in addition to snacks and different crayons and papers, I will find a random toy or rocks or sticks or what have you. It's all been there before. Now it's better than it has been a few years ago because my kids are now 7 and 4, so I don't have to have a diaper bag. And about a year and a half ago, I decided to ditch my big bag and change to something that was much smaller. My idea of thinking was the less space I have in my purse, the less clutter I can fit into that. And that really has worked for me. So if you are still struggling with carrying too much clutter in your purse, consider switching to a smaller bag. But dump everything out, sort through it, and put only whatever you actually need in your purse. And if you were on a fence, take it out and see if you actually need it. And I promise an organized and clutter-free purse is gonna automatically make you feel more in control. Now, the second thing that I want you to declutter is your junk drawer. I think it's safe to say that all of us have either 1 or 2 drawers where pretty much anything goes. If you come across an item that you are not sure where it goes, it's most likely gonna end up in that junk drawer unless it cannot fit. But that is the habit that we have developed. You don't know where it goes into the junk drawer. Now, my junk drawer was actually pretty good. And the reason why it's not so bad is because a few months ago, I was watching a video from Catherine from Do It on a Dime. And she was organizing different things, and she was talking about this idea that we want to organize things where we have one space for one kind of item. So what I did is I organized my junk drawer into different kind of compartments. So I had this organizer, I don't know even where I got it from. It has been in my house, so I just put it in that drawer, it was the right fit. So I decided to take that concept and implement that. So you see I have pencils in one, I have pens in one, I have some coupons and some other things. But one type of item generally goes into just one of those compartments. And that has worked really, really well for me. And not only is this helping me to keep those compartments to one item, it is also pushing me to make a decision if I come across an item that does not belong in my drawer, because now I have one spot for one item, right? Then I have to make a decision what to do with it. And I don't want it lying around on my kitchen counters, so I have to either find a home for it or throw it away. So thank you, Catherine, for introducing me to that system, because it is working wonderfully for me. The third thing that I want you to declutter is your mudroom or your front closet. So in our house, we do not have a proper mudroom. All we have is a small front door closet where we store our jackets and coats and scarves and hats and some of our shoes. This is also the closet where we have our backpacks, my purse, and my husband's laptop bag. So that's a lot of things to fit into the closet. And we also live right outside of Chicago, which means the winter is long. So we need a lot of winter gear. So my approach with the closet was to spend 15 minutes on it, that's it. I set a timer for 15 minutes and decided to quickly go through that. Now, overall, I do have a good system going for me in that closet. I have 2 bins for my kids' things like scarves and hats on the bottom. On the top is their sweatshirts and hoodies and jackets. And that is so they can put things away by themselves and I don't have to constantly help them out. So over the holidays, it just kind of got out of place. Again, that seems to be the time of year where organization takes a back burner and we are just trying to prepare for the holidays and enjoy them. And then when it comes to January, that's when we are sorting through it. So even though I had a good system, I needed to go through, see if there is anything that my kids have outgrown, which there was quite a bit of things. And what I also did is I took out anything that my kids were specifically just to play outside. So I have a second set of clothes that they play outside. That's the thing I have learned last year, that they need something specifically to play outside because they get so dirty, I would have to probably wash everything every single week. And I really don't want to do it. So I saved their jackets from last year and they're using that to play outside this year. So they might not be exactly the perfect fit, but it is a perfect fit for playing outside and getting dirty. The fourth thing I want you to declutter today is your home office desk. Now, this is something that took me more time. I probably spent about an hour and a half on that office. Simply because in our house, my desk is like a dumping ground for any paperwork. Anything that comes in, instead of leaving it on a kitchen island, I dump it on my desk. Now, I did not have a really good system of how to keep my paperwork organized. I have a good system to keep it organized once it's kind of dealt with, once the action was taken, so for my records, but not for things I still need to take an action on. So that is also something I was developing, but that's something I'm gonna discuss in a different video once I give it a try and see how things are working for me. But that is why it took so long. There was just so much paperwork to go through. And I also wanted to declutter the desk, to get some books off of there, just make the space more clear, because I have learned that I am so much more productive and so much more creative when I have a lot of like empty space on my desk. So if your desk area is something that is causing you anxiety, that is causing you to constantly have those mental battles with yourself, make sure you declutter that, because I promise your mind is also going to be decluttered. And the last area I want you to declutter is your finances. So this is obviously not an area of your house, so this is not your typical decluttering. However, I thought it was very important for everyone to declutter their finances as we are entering into the new year. Now, I am not a financial expert. I look up to people like Dave Ramsey, Rachel Cruz, the Budget Mom. They have great tips on how to budget, how to plan your finances and all that kind of things. So I'm going to link to their resources down below. However, when I'm talking about decluttering your finances, is I feel like our finances are affecting every single thing that we do in our lives. So if we don't have them in order, we have constant clutter in our heads, and that is not helping anybody. So this is probably the area that's going to take you the longest. It probably took me a few hours. And what I mean by decluttering my finances, I mean creating a budget for yourself for the next year. That is what I have done, really looked at what I'm gonna be paying over the next 12 months and created a clear budget and clear financial goals for myself for the next year. That way, I don't have to worry about that aspect for the next 12 months. Because now I already made the decision what I'm gonna do with my money. I just have to follow the plan. If I need any small adjustments, I can always do them, but do the work up front and I promise you're gonna be so much happier and your mind is gonna be free of so much clutter. And that's gonna help you make your decisions much quicker and with much more confidence. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any additional tips of what else we should declutter, make sure you leave that down below. And if you are not yet subscribed, make sure that you do. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.